Hi there, I'm Gabe, curator of the Bad Ideas Museum. Over here we have a beautiful piece that just came in. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Today we're talking about the Iblan Civil War. Now, this will be an interesting video because you and I are almost on equal footing with what we currently know about the Iblan Civil War. Because, I'm going to break character here and give you a little peek behind the curtain, the Civil War is kind of a concept I came up with while writing Insurrection and Rebirth, but mostly Insurrection. So this will be an absolute test of the rules as I try not to invent new information about the Civil War while I talk about it. You down? I'm down. Let's do this. So, what is the Iblan Civil War? Well, it's a period after the First War with the Ancenians. Modern Ancenia and the Union are separated by a mountain range to the Union's west and Ancenia's east. Before the First War, the Ancenian Empire stretched across the mountains and held a good chunk of land to the Union's west. Something sparked a conflict between the two, and eventually the Union won and pushed the Ancenian Empire back across the mountains. In that stretch of land claimed by the Union after the Civil War, there were a bunch of uppity ne'er-do-wells who thought things would be better if they were in charge. They attempted to assassinate the Seven, the group of paladins who lead the Brotherhood of Light, but that did not work out. The Brotherhood sent a party to negotiate peace/quell the uprising. That also did not work out, and the rebellion spiraled out of control. This led to several centuries of conflict that ultimately culminated in the Brotherhood using their combined might to call down an Armageddon spell. The Brotherhood was stopped by the intervention of Iblis of Shame, which led to the founding of the modern Union government after deposing the rebel leaders who seized control. So, how do we know that any of this stuff happened? Well, a lot of this comes from insurrections, specifically from Gideon and Ellis, who were alive when the rebellion started. We know that during the beginning of the First Ancenian War, Gideon's brother was the seventh, the highest-ranked member of the Brotherhood. Because of his surprisingly poor leadership, Ellis led the effort to remove Gideon's brother from power and became provisional general, which effectively replaced the position of seventh during the war. Now, we don't know if Ellis abdicated his position of power after the Ancenian War and before the Civil War, but we do know that Gideon was sent as a member of the party to negotiate with the rebels. In fact, it's fair to assume that Gideon was killed in the negotiations, which is the event that sparks the entire Civil War, according to him. And then there's the memories of Nora the Sunlight Paladin. Although Ellis seems to know of her, it's not clear that he would have known her. By the time she's inducted into the Brotherhood, the position of seventh has been reinstated, but the seventh she serves under is not named. However, her seventh is described as an old and fragile man, and Ellis is neither of those things. That's a different discussion for a different time, though. Right now, Civil War. So what can we learn from Nora's account of the Civil War? Well, it's clearly been going on for some time at that point because there's been a shift in the Brotherhood's recruiting methods. She becomes one of the few female paladins in the Brotherhood, which has strictly been a fraternity. Clearly, the demands of the war have necessitated this radical shift, which does catch the heretics by surprise. Now, where does she land in the Civil War's timeline? It's a little foggy. We can assume, according to Gideon's title quest, that she joined in the late stages of the war. After all, Gideon did say that he had been hiding in decades by the time the war was ending, and by that point he had already taken Norastra, the warhammer Nora's soul was forged into. Therefore, it's not unreasonable to assume Nora's memories took place near the end of the war. However, this is all just speculation based on what we have available. Anyway, all we have left is the end of the war and the immediate aftermath. The unofficial end of the war is the Brotherhood surrender to the rebels after the return/reveal of Iblis of Shame. In the immediate aftermath, Gideon travels to the rebel capital fortress as part of his title quest and destroys it, slaying the rebel king as well. So the rebels, still reeling after the loss of their leader, are once again defeated as Iblis of Shame removes whatever body they had in power next. From there, Iblis of Shame helps to draft the Neric Treaty, the document which outlines and sets up the new governing bodies of the Union, as well as officially ends the Iblan Civil War as it is ratified throughout the country. And that's really everything we've got about the Civil War. It's this huge empty spot in the history of the world, and I've debated on going to it after finishing the Iblan Light and Black Empire series. However, I am hesitant to do that because I feel as though the Civil War benefits from a less is more approach. But who knows, maybe I'll change my mind one day and deliver the definitive chronicle of the Iblan Civil War. But that's all we've got for today. Please feel free to join me back on Tuesday when we'll do a short little video about Mira from Insurrection. Hi, I'm Gabe, and it took me a lot longer than it should have to record this in slate. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing so you don't miss the next one. If you want more content from me, consider following me on Twitter, where eventually I'll tweet some more. If you want to learn more about anything I'm talking about or catch some details I missed, consider buying my books. Links are in the description below. Also consider checking out the Tumblr where I post side stories and art about the books that I can't really put anywhere else. Again, thanks for watching and I hope you have a great day.